My name is Alfonso Ferguson, and I'm a licensed mental health counselor in the state of New York and a licensed professional counselor in the state of New Jersey. I also identify as a Black Afro-Caribbean immigrant, gay male. And so there's really important for me that as a clinician, I believe about inclusivity, right? I believe that representation is key, representation is important, and I do this work for my people. And so, what does that mean for me? I think that a lot of my clients seek me out because of my racial and sometimes my ethnic identities, but I'm also been very transparent within my core identity too. So I think working with clients who also identify as Black males or Black individuals or gay or bisexual or lesbian has been very instrumental in the work that I do. Like working with this population allows us to not only expedite some of the conversations because we're not being caught up in language or definitions or explaining scenarios. We're able to get right to the meat of the conversation, whether that's how those multiple identities show up in the workplace, how those multiple identities show up in their different communities that they belong to. By having this space, by having these similar identities, by having these shared experience, we actually get to get right to the conversation.
I'm a non-binary bisexual disabled person, and I'm from Virginia, and something valuable about being around folks who identify similarly to myself is being able to have shared experiences and feeling like I'm not alone in my experiences related to my queerness or my disability, whether those are good or bad.
My name is Salome Waller Roberts. I'm a licensed professional counselor in the state of New Jersey. Black, immigrant, African, and woman are some of the identities that I hold. My pronouns are she, her, hers. As a clinician, I believe that Black and other clients of color deserve to see themselves in their counselor because it's what they want. The research shows this. Clients say to me, it's so good to have a counselor that I don't have to explain things to. I don't have to wonder if she believes my experience of oppression. I don't have to change my speech pattern because I'm afraid of being judged. I can just be myself and focus on the work.
I identify as a male, African American, Nigerian American, and I'm from Virginia. For me, the ability to have a counselor that identifies similar to you is just, I don't believe there's an actual quantifiable value to that. And I say that because to have someone that you can talk to and understand exactly what you're going through without the judgment or having things swept under the rug or, for whatever reason, having society treat you a certain way or because of society, the impacts on whomever you're talking to, they don't want to actually listen to you because they might feel as though people will look at them different.
A lot of the clients that I work with at this phase of my life actually prefer it. I get calls on a regular basis on the importance of them seeking out a Black male counselor or a Black counselor. And so being able to hold that space for them while passing through or like navigating some of like those experiences where they don't have to tell me, hey, have you ever heard of this? Or do you know what this means? Or I was in this community and I'm using this app and this is what's coming up. They don't have to explain those things to me because not only have I lived it to some experience, but I've worked with so many clients who have those similar experiences. We're not having those conversations. We're not getting caught up in those conversations. So we're able to like, boom, let's get right to it. And so that's why I think not only is it important for cultural or ethnic or racial inclusivity, when it comes to counseling, I think representation matters. And for my clients, representation is
definitely a breath of fresh air to have someone like that in your corner so that you can explain what's been going on with you, especially when it comes to race, and that helps you alleviate some of the weight on your shoulders that a lot of people don't see. So it's just one of those things that people will look at you and think that everything's great, but not everything is always great on the inside. And so when you have somebody, a counselor that can talk to you and is of the same culture and or race, it just adds another layer of comfort.
I think this is very important. As a Black clinician or a clinician of color, one of the reasons I do this work is to destigmatize the notion of mental health being a bad thing in our community, or that we do not go to counseling when we do, or that we don't need counseling when we do. I want people to know it's okay to be depressed, to be anxious. Given the conditions that Black and brown folks exist under, it is more than okay. And it is more than okay to seek out help. It's also okay to have someone you can go to, not just in crisis, but to help you figure things out. And I feel so humbled to be able to facilitate this process.